All right, hello everybody, and welcome to this webinar on behalf of the Facebook group Channeling Development and Spiritual Growth. My name is Kim Chamberlain, and we are very fortunate today to have Michele Courage with us. And her topic is using the energy of joy for channeling, creativity, and soul purpose. I've known Michele for many years now, and I've watched her spiritual business grow and develop. It's been very interesting. And today she's going to invite us to step into the joy factory as she shares her journey of aligning with joy as a guiding force. Michele is based in Hawke's Bay and is a Galactic Messenger light code artist and soul alignment guide. Welcome, Michele. It's great to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much, Kim. Yes, we have known one another for a very long time, and yeah, when I first started, it was so lovely to share our development circles together. So welcome everyone who's watching this. I wanted to start off with a little bit of history around how I've come to where I'm at and how the channeling started, because I think that it's really good to get a background on how this all kind of falls into place for different people, because it's I would like to see this as a normal mainstream thing that everybody does, everybody can do. I walked away from a marketing background, graphic design background. I've got notes because I do go off topic. As I started opening up more and more, as I was, when I was a little bit younger, I was always into sort of like a little bit of, crystals and whatever, but wasn't really I was always a bit nervous of the whole spiritual side, the sort of real woohoo-y stuff, as my husband calls it. And I just before my father died, about 2, 3 months before he died, which was in 99, I realized that I knew he wasn't going to he was going in for an operation, and I realized I got told he's not going to make it. And that scared the hell out of me. I was just, I don't want to do this. This is too much for me. It's too much information coming in. I can't cope. And what I did was I just asked out loud. I said, can you give me something that I can turn it on and turn it off? I don't want it to interfere with my life. I was very much a control freak and didn't want this to interfere with my life. And I got introduced to dowsing. And dowsing was awesome, because then I could say yes, I could say no, I could leave it, I could ask questions. And so my art journey was really, I'm just going to quickly give you a bit of a background into my art side, which is very defining in my life. I got born to two artists. My father was a potter, my mother was a painter. I grew up in a very artistic household, and I never wanted to paint or do anything like them. That was my biggest thing, as I don't want to paint like my mom. I don't want to, I want to be authentic. I have had this drive all from a very young age to be very authentic. So I saw a movie called, I think it was just called Pollock. It was Ed Harris in a movie about the life of Jackson Pollock. And I saw Jackson Pollock splattering paint on canvas and just free. He just walked on the canvas. The canvas were huge, and he used motor oil, and he used whatever he could find, and he just splattered it all over. And there was something that just catalyzed me into thinking, goodness, this is what I want to do. This is the kind of work that I wanted to do, this graphic, abstract. At the time, I thought it was just abstract artwork. And I never wanted to control the art. I was able to control the art. I was able to draw very pretty pictures and, that type of stuff. But I never wanted to do that. I never wanted to paint like that. My mother was a wildlife artist, and I needed the free flow. And I needed to do spirals in my paintings and end my paintings with a big swirl on it. And so I'm just going to leave that artwork idea with you there and pick up when I immigrated to New Zealand. So we immigrated to New Zealand, and a friend dragged me off to a spiritual development group. And I say dragged me off because I was just still very anti the whole woohooey thing. It frankly quite scared me. And what I come to know today is because of previous past life stuff. I'd obviously had some bumpy lifetimes through it. And so I went into the spiritual circle very nervous, but quite open. And I mean, kudos to the teacher, Barbara Hand. Oh, my word, she just opened me up so beautifully, so gently. I remember my gran coming in all the time and holding my hand in the beginning of every session that I went to with Barbara, because we were starting to Barbara would say, stand up, start, talking. And so one of the lessons that I latched onto really brilliantly was the automatic writing. That really worked for me. I thought this automatic writing is amazing because I don't have to sit there and control, because as you're trying to channel, it always, for me, I was so obsessed with being authentic and not being false and not representing something that wasn't true, that it was really, really easier for me to do the automatic writing, just because I could then know that I could just wait for the words to come in and I would write the next word and write the next word. And then obviously it would start flowing so much quicker. Fast forward to meeting a pivotal person in my life called Tori. She was an artist, very woohoo, and she actually scared me in her woohoo-ness because she was not always very grounded and trying to survive on the planet in her woohooiness, but actually still kind of, she's still functional. But it scared me at the time because, again, I had this whole thing about people with woohooey, they lose control, they can't stay grounded, they sort of don't fit into society. And I was very fixed on wanting to stay grounded, stay, functional in the world. And so going to see Tori, and Tori was an artist. She is an artist. She's an exceptionally talented artist, an exceptionally talented, spiritually wide open person. She turned around to me all the while I was painting. She said to me, "Have you ever considered the fact that you were painting codes, Michele?" And I was like, I never thought about it that way. I never thought about the fact that maybe this drive for me to want to actually paint this coding, this free-flowing kind of stuff, which was at the time called abstract, could be anything around spiritual coding. So that really broke something open within me. While living in Wellington, though, Wellington was really a tough place for me because while I was working and doing the spiritual growth and opening, I was really battling to be happy and be joyful. I really struggled with the weather, the people, everything felt like it was closing in on me. And I really struggled to be happy. Some would say probably, getting a little bit sort of very dark and heavy. And it was one of my biggest worries. It's like I'm doing all the spiritual work, but I'm getting so heavy and so dark and, you know, um, and so one day, I really think it must have been actually when I was driving back from Tori. I think she must have really done an activation on me or something. I was driving back and I looked across from Kapiti. I was driving back to Wellington, looked across the ocean, and I just had this thought. Actually, you know what? You can carry on like this every day, thinking it's always hard, thinking that, the art is hard, thinking, you don't like the weather, you don't like the grayness of it, the wet, you're cold, you're miserable, or you can change your life. It's as simple as that. It was like this cut decision. And then I thought, well, how am I going to do this? And I got the whole idea. I have to be in gratitude. I have to be deep in my gratitude. So every night I would list 10 things. I made myself a pact that every night I would lie in bed before I closed my eyes and I would say 10 things that I was grateful for and really mean it. And I started writing, thinking about the 10 things. And some days, to be honest, it was really hard. I had to really dig deep around that. Um, and then I got into that habit. And so I wrote journals and journals and journals, but it was all automatic writing. The journals that I was writing was all automatic writing because this was my information of how I was getting the information through and I would never try and control it. All I wanted to know was my next steps or how did it work. I went to a lot of circles and I would do a deep meditation. And then during the meditation, I would wake up and I would just have to journal and I would write and this automatic writing would just come through me. And it would often be the next steps of my journey of what I needed to do. And I started realizing that the paintings and this was all very super connected. And I got this idea, I need to write a book. I need to take the messages that have pulled me out of the deep sort of lower vibrational energy that I was in. I needed to write them down, put them together with the paintings and marry the two. And so my book was born, Raise Your Vibe. I'm just going to quickly get it. I forgot to bring it to the table, and it's here. Okay. So there we go. So the book was born basically with my paintings on it, in it, and the passages that I'd written over 6 years. And because I was a graphic designer in previous life and in marketing, it was pretty easy for me because my guides have said to me, I must keep this pure as possible. There mustn't be other interference with this. These words that you've channeled carry vibrational energy. Your paintings carry this vibrational energy. This book is a book of upliftment and it came straight through from the Pleiadian energy. So during this time, I painted this beautiful big painting, 2 meters by basically 800, almost a meter. In the Pleiadian colors, I would get fixated on sort of whatever energy that I was working with at the time, whether it be Lemurian or the goddess energy, but this Pleiadian one. And when I finalized the book, I said, well, I've got so much artwork. Can you tell me what is going to be the cover? And they said, of course, it's going to be the Pleiadians. It's going to be the Pleiadian activation artwork. And I've just opened the page, one of the pages in my book. I'm just going to go quite close and you can see. And this page says, creativity and stillness. Being lost in a craft is a mindfulness act which serves much for the soul as well as the mind. Our minds are restless entities which can lead us into troubled waters. But with a creativity, we are once again focused. Spark the love of stillness and be absorbed wholly. Now, every single one of these passages was written for me and I decided I wanted to share these in the book. So I can flick through another page and I will see which one we need to stop at. You can't dream this up. Gratitude. Those who are not grateful will never truly understand the importance before rising above to their highest calling. So to raise your vibration, you have to start with gratitude. It starts that is the bottom line. And I know it works because it worked for me. So so the book was born, and I started realizing, I'm just going to see where I am in my notes here. I started realizing that the joy aspect from the book and the paintings, there was a big link there. This gratitude joy thing was really, there was a massive link. I never questioned the words that came that I was writing. I never questioned who it was or what it was, or I just went with the flow. So if it felt good, if it brought me joy, then I would follow the information. And I started living my life completely and utterly in that vein of, if I had a choice to make and it was something would bring me joy and something would bring me less joy, I would follow the joy. And it's at times can be quite, it's quite daunting to choose joy over something that you should be doing, knowing that possibly partners won't work out, lifestyles won't work out. Yeah, it's been quite a test for me also, because I've always been a little bit of a control freak, and I'm very Taurus orientated, so I need stability, and so yeah, it's been tough. And I mean, I always chuckle at my surname because Michele Courage, and that is not a made-up surname. I truly married the man Gavin Courage. So yeah, so yeah, so people did start asking me about what their names were and who they was, and I didn't care. All I knew was I just followed my intuitive nudges, and I wanted the universe to reveal my path for me. And that is really truly surrendering to what this path of joy brings us. And I truly believe that the Pleiadian energy is one of our highest, biggest influences on the earth, for us to follow their influence. I think they sort of, everything funnels through their filter, because they kind of know what it's kind of like to live on earth. Right, okay, so every time I came across a door that closed, I would pause and not question why it had closed. I would question, I would just instinctively know it's closed for a reason. I'm not supposed to go down that route. Understand this, make peace with it, and another door will open. And so I had this, I often used to imagine this door that I would nudge instead of putting my shoulder into it. I would often, when I was younger, growing up, I would actually push the door open and nudge it and bang it open, and realizing that you actually just need to slowly open the door and just take a peek and see if the universe, if that is the direction you're supposed to be going, because it really makes a huge difference when we just allow the universe to reveal itself to us. I learned about the Akashic records, and mainly because I had issues with a mother-in-law that there was no understanding of why she was so dead against me. So I went into that investigation and learned even more about that. And then when I was channeling and asking for information while I was writing, they would give me insights around why and how this worked. And so yeah, it's been a really an amazing journey for me to correct my life, to get into soul alignment, and now understanding, and I've been doing this for quite a long time now. So the soul alignment side just grew more and more and more, realizing that I could actually help others to get into soul alignment. I started painting paintings with very specific goals and very specific energies. So when I first started, I channeled 7 words, and they specifically said to me, these words, write them down in like a in a sequence. And then I knew that each one was going to be a painting. And then they said to me, for this painting, the first one was love and light. This painting is the colors. These are the colors that you have to use for love and light. And they were yellow. They explained to me all the colors, what they meant. Yellow was joy, and the opposite of joy is fear. So there's so few people that wear yellow, and yellow is one of the biggest thing that shifts fear out of our system. It's like a fine-tuning a guitar. So every single one of them has got a different color. And so then I I met a person who was very into doTERRA oils, and I thought, oh, this brings me joy. I'm going to follow doTERRA and figure out what happens. And I realized that that was what I was supposed to do, was to make I'm just trying to see if I can get in there. I don't know, an aura spray with the artwork on it from the Love and Light. That was the first aura spray that I made. And what I did was I doused over everything. I had a friend who was very into doTERRA. She's still a very good friend. And she had this huge bag of doTERRA oils. And I said to her, can I stand one day and just douse over every oil to see which oils need to be in the Love and Light? And of course, I got 7 oils, and then they told me how many drops each. And I mean, now I don't have to do the manualness of it. Intuitively, the download, I'm sort of more accustomed to it, and I know how to, the information comes quicker, and I've practiced it, so it's so much more easier. But it is really, every single one of these has been downloaded for my specific benefit. And so when I read up on the oils that I had been told to use in this specific aura spray, every single one of them worked on the emotional side of upliftment. So I did the Pleiadian one. I did a Pleiadian one, and I did the Galactic, the Divine Feminine one, which was beautiful for stepping into empowerment. I did a Lemurian one because I did the Lemurian painting, and the Lemurian one was Christ consciousness and, connecting into the earth. And then I got to do a Galactic Dragon one because I started getting really into the dragon energy. Really early on, the dragon energy came in for me when nobody was talking about the dragons at all. And so the Galactic Dragon energy, the Galactic Dragon aura spray is fabulous for clearing. You're basically summoning in the galactic dragons when you spray this aura spray, and asking to clear your space or your energy, space. So for me, everything that I've done has been led by joy. So everything that if I, for instance, I've been going to a little local market, and it no longer brings me joy. And so I'm no longer going back now. So whenever I feel the joy goes, I stop and I take stock. Why is the joy left? Why is the joy not there anymore? What is going on? What is the universe trying to tell me? So following on with the joy. So if somebody's going for a job interview and there's two options, which one is going to light you up? Which one is just going to go, oh my goodness, that would be my best one. And then what I do is I actually sit down and I make almost like it's already happening. So the manifestation of it is that I'm sitting in that energy and I'm actually doing it already. And I've done my whole life like that. I am now living the most incredible life on the Tukituki River in a beautiful home. My husband's he stopped work. He got retrenched in November last year. And that whole time that he was retrenched, he got to build me my art studio. And the day that he finished, I realized was the day that he was going to start looking for a job. And realistically, within like 3 weeks, he had his job. The whole process is exactly the way it's supposed to be, because I'm in complete alignment of what I'm supposed to be doing and I listen to whatever I'm doing. And so my mission in life is to help people to tap into that. And it's so super, super, super simple once we figure it out. What I wanted to do, okay, let me just have a quick squiz at what I've been talking about and that I've caught up. So I would like to say that each step of my creative journey has been an expression of my learning and mastering, in inverted commas, because we never master anything, a new energy for information. So information that I will channel or get insights about. And I'm quite focused on one thing. Once I do the Pleiadians, I get involved, I invite them in. I'm so wrapped up in that energy, and now I recognize the energy instantly. And I really highly recommend feeling the energy of everything rather than learning something by rote and what it's supposed to be. It's all about feeling. So when I spoke to you and I told you that I never questioned who I channel or what I channel, I never asked for names. During COVID, I needed to get a bit more clarity. I got challenged around quite a few things, that protocols that we were supposed to and not supposed to do. And I asked my guides, I said, finally, okay, just tell me. I call them my guides, but I asked, who are you? How do I know that you're not leading me down the, garden path? I need an answer now. And I remember the words coming through saying, we are, or you are, a 12th dimensional being, and you're an aspect of me, of us, or of the whole energy of a 12th dimensional being. Please don't ever question this again. And so I got my answer. So now I do definitely get guides come in, and different guides channel in different ways for me from a, so when we moved up to Hawke's Bay, I was going to be I didn't know this, but I was going to be absolutely immersed in the garden for at least a year to 2 years. And so I got a guide that came in that was specifically very, very helpful in what I was supposed to be doing with my garden and how to grow vegetables from scratch and seeds and, all that kind of stuff. So, I didn't know who it was, and somebody said, oh, it's maybe this person or whatever, but I just trusted that this was the guide that I needed to help me on my journey at the moment, which was growing food for my family, and immersing myself in that journey, and edible plants. And if you go on my YouTube channel, you'll see there's one or two sort of interviews around what I've done with chamomile and growing that type of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm passionate about stuff. I'm passionate about clearing energy. And so the dragon energy has sat with me for a long time. I'm super, super connected to the dragon realm. Um, I, I just, I liken to working with the dragons, always being very respectful with the dragon energy, because to me, using dragon energy to clear is just, why would you use a feather duster when you can use a Hoover? It's so strong. I've just done a workshop with Ganesha workshop, and I love working with Ganesha energy, but I really prefer the dragon energy. So yeah, helping people to get out of their stuck energy, stuck in their places. I'm often given Akashic record information to explain why they're stuck in this lifetime, and then help them clear that so that they can move on. While I was working with the dragon energy, I got told you need to start working with angelic energy. And I was like, oh, that's so feminine, that's so soft and flowery. How do you balance that with the very strong dragon energy? And I then go, well, I don't question it. And one of the friends that I'd met was giving angelic energy certification kind of course workshop. And I thought, well, I've never believed in workshops and sort of like as in getting a certificate and putting it on the wall. For me, it wasn't about that. It was, oh, I get to the whole weekend sit in angelic energy. I will work with this energy and see how that interfaces with my dragons, and see what happens. It was not about getting the little certificate and saying, oh, now I'm a whatever qualified, whatever. It's not about the qualification for me. It's because I believe that as you're sitting here, you are tapping into my energy and into my vibrational energy. And if I work on raising my vibration into that beautiful joy and happiness, you will feel that uplifting energy and be somehow inspired, or you will get some information, or something will trigger within you to do something or go and investigate something. Because that's what I believe. A lot of people, they get told things, or you see something, or you get a niggle that you should, but we don't actually act on it. We don't actually go. And that's the way our guides communicate with them, with us, So I study everything that I get shown, and I pique interest. If that brings me joy and I go, oh, that sounds fascinating, I will go and find information around it. I will go and watch videos, and I will flick through the videos until the video that feels good for me and it brings me joy. Because when you tap into the joy is the thing that is going to it'll help you to know that you're on the right track, that is how to do the measure. So I'd like to I channeled something for the group tonight, and it's so fascinating for me. The deeper I go in my spiritual journey, the more simple the information gets. So when I first started channeling and started asking the questions, and the information that came was quite detailed about souls and oversouls and how they work, and this is how we position, and this is what we're learning to do, and when we split, and we're living concurrent lives and on a grid pattern and all this kind of stuff. I did a podcast, and I've done YouTube channels and a podcast, Raise Your Vibe with Michele podcast too. And in many of those, I've actually talked about these information that I got. And now the information that I'm just getting is just to simplify my life, to bring the joy in, to simplify my life, to make it quieter. And I really believe that this is the energy that we are being asked to anchor in as light workers, because every one of you, if you've lasted this long on the call, you're a light worker, and you're resonating on some level around the information that is coming through. So I'm going to channel what I channeled tonight. It was 100% come from the Pleiadians. They are the most beautiful, uplifting energy. They're here to facilitate this this real rise in our vibrational energy on Earth. And so their information, so I just like you to just quieten down and just feel into these words that they say, because they are truly vibrational energy that is coming straight through me for you. So the first word that they said was smile. So smile within yourself. Feel that feeling. Tap into the genuineness of that feeling. Let all fall away. Just be in the smile. The quietness of it. The simpleness of it. The genuineness of it. The deep integrity of it. The depth of it. We are the Pleiadians, and we would like to work with you. Allow us to infiltrate your thoughts, your actions, to cultivate a sense of belonging and oneness, never that you have experienced before. You are all so capable of this. Simple task, yet for some, it is so elusive. This is your choice. A simple one. A pure one. You are here to find the joy in everything you do, from simple hygiene tasks to growing your food, to interacting with others. The life you have been shown is a simple one, and yet it has become complicated. Uncomplicate this life and turn to joy. You will flourish. It's a guarantee. You have no need for the extra trappings. Only the knowing that only the things that bring you simple joy. Release yourself from the obligations to others and simply follow the joy in every decision you make going forward. We are with you. We are you. Take that step. It is a simple step to take. Step into joy. You are never alone. We are with you at every turn. Know this. And be relaxed in your decisions, for they will be working out for your favor. Thank you. And I know that you can feel that absolute beautiful joy, that love, that it's a bubbly joy inside you that is just indescribable. So I really urge you to re-listen to that message again if you need to, rewind and listen to that message again. It carries a beautiful, pure vibrational energy. Everything that we do carries vibrational energy. Everything that we create carries a vibrational energy. So, and I would like to invite you to our property if you live in New Zealand or anywhere in the world, actually. We have a beautiful cottage. It's called Riverstones. I have created a grid on the property, a healing grid with Metatron. We're right on the Tuki River. There's beautiful fly fishing opportunities. There's healing opportunities. I do art workshops as well, sacred art workshops. Yeah, and my life is unbelievably wonderful, and it's because I follow joy. So if you can't make your mind up and you ask yourself a question, which way, which decision, what is the decision? Just follow the joy. I urge you to follow the joy. Spend time with people who make you happy. Less time with people who don't make you happy. Less time at places. Less time with stuff that doesn't make you happy. It's a simple, simple, simple recipe. Do the things that make you happy. Simple. It's a simple recipe. And thank you for listening.
Wow, that was amazing. Does anybody have any questions for Michele?
Happy to answer.
I have one. You mentioned Joy Factory. Is that the whole thing that you've talked about? Is that the Joy Factory?
It is the Joy Factory. We are a Joy Factory. Now, the reason why I use the word Joy Factory is because the other day I was listening to a podcast of somebody, I think it was Lee Harris or someone, and I just got these words channeled down for me. You are the Joy Factory. Be the Joy Factory. And so that's why I say when you asked me to do this webinar, the words came in like Joy Factory. I need to talk about the fact that we are a Joy Factory. We need to work on being the Joy Factory, because when you are the joy, people cannot help but be happy around you. You shift energy, you change their perspective, you change their energy. Yes, unfortunately, you do trigger some people, but that's because you're bouncing off. They're bouncing off that joy, and it's really triggering them for some people. But you learn to be okay with it. But yeah, the words I got was be a joy factory. You are the Joy Factory. And I thought, well, I mean, you can't get simpler than that.
Thank you. Larry, did you have a question?
Yes, I was, so I might be, and sorry, I might have L plates on, and apologies to anyone listening going, oh gosh, don't you know that? But
No question. I've been there.
I was fascinated by dragon energy, and I immediately felt such a lovely dragon. And I thought,
Fabulous.
I've never come across a dragon energy before. So would you mind explaining? I've never, but I love animals. I come from horses, so the
Well,
dragon.
I came from horses as well. The dragons will pick you. So if you're really keen on dragons and it's obviously piqued some interest in you, they want to work with you, because dragons have come into Earth only recently, actually, only like quite recently. I think it was about maybe it was just around 2012 that they really came in quite strongly, because they contracted to help us to shift energy, to clear the earth. The dragons originally came in and put in the ley lines underneath within the earth. So they are a very versatile energy which can shapeshift and move, because if you think about an archangel or a 12th dimensional being, they have to lower their frequency so low to come in at 3-dimensional and 4-dimensional, even 4 or 5. But some of us are trying to stay in 5th. So the dragons can move and slip in through the dimensions. They've been designed like that. They contracted to Earth to help us. And yeah, there's so many different dragons. If you want to learn a little bit more, maybe you can give me a call or contact me and I can have a chat. I've got there is an introductory course that I made and have never actually put up. But you know, the dragons have shifted so much for me in my life. I work specifically with fire dragon, earth dragon, air dragon, and water dragon in specifics, but there are galactic dragons, there's different dragons. In October, I'm doing a dragon sacred art workshop where you actually get to meet your dragon and then paint it, and you activate that dragon energy within you. I do dragon activation sessions as well, you know, if you're fascinated by it. But Diana Cooper is an amazing person to go and listen to around her dragons. Be very discerning at the moment around what many spiritual teachers are talking about, because there is a lot of covert information that's out there that is not pure. Once again, if you're listening and it doesn't bring you joy, switch off.
So it's interesting you talk about the earth, fire. I think you said water, because it just reminded me of the astrological elements. It kind of
Oh,
aligned.
you've broken up.
The Tiki River is interfering. It's Michele, it's not me, is it?
No, I can see you, Larry. I think
Yeah.
Michelle's frozen. Yeah.
I think
You're back now. You're back. Yeah.
Mr. Fire Dragon breathed some fire onto your internet and you re-emerged.
Well, I will tell you that I have sat at Auckland Airport, and suddenly the dragons came in and they said to me, please, can you clear this airport? And all the planes went down and were grounded for 4 hours while I did that. I mean, this is a very powerful energy. And, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm doing this and I'm going, oh my God, suddenly all the boards canceled, delayed, canceled, delayed, canceled, delayed. I'm like, this is not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. That is how powerful the dragon energy is. So I've always warned people that when you really want to work with the dragons, be aware of the fact that they are super powerful energy to work with. But the most benevolent and so comforting when you do work with them, because you know they're on your side, they have your back.
Thank you, Michele. That touches my heart.
Well, there's something activated there, something you definitely need to investigate. That's how I feel. If you feel something, go and investigate it and see where that path leads you, because your guides will be showing you as you go along. But follow the joy. If it doesn't make you happy, go to the next one. Go to the next one until you find the thing that lights you up.
I'm looking for my pet dragon. I won't go to the pet shop. Thanks, Michele. I'll stop my audio.
Any other questions for Michele?
Yeah, I've got one. Now, dragons again. My little grandson, who's only about 4.5, he's just so obsessed with dragons at the moment, and he's drawing them and talking about them, and he goes to play center and he's doing dragon stuff there and all that.
Yeah, well, the kids are open.
Beg your pardon?
The kids are very open. So, you know, especially the younger ones, most kids are into dragons and that kind of stuff. And then obviously the adults start telling them, you know, well, you know, it's not real.
Yeah.
Unless they have me for a mom.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So for people who want to connect with you, Michele, what's the easiest way to do that?
Easiest way is to pop onto my website, michelecourage.com. It's Michele with 1 L, courage, COURAGE.com. You can find me on Instagram as well. You can find me on YouTube. Raise Your Vibe with Michele, but realistically, michelecourage.com, and you'll see I run events in New Zealand, obviously at the moment, sometimes in Wellington, and then mostly at the moment in the studio here up in Hawke's Bay.
Thank you. That was just a wonderful presentation, and I was just thinking, it is a bit like a Jackson Pollock version of a presentation.
It is. I'm not normal. It's like all over the place.
But it all makes sense. It's just once you tap into your energy, it all falls into place. Everything. It's not just the words that you're saying, it's the energy that you're bringing through.
This is the thing, and people need to start tapping into that. They need to understand that every person holds a vibrational energy within themselves, and the more you work on your vibrational energy, the more it's going to expand, and the more the higher your vibrational energy. If you work on raising your vibration, people will naturally want to be near you. And then obviously you've got to learn about, energy suckers and, boundaries and all these things. It's all these things that we're learning, about, but it is the core of us is raising our vibrations so that when we walk into a room, I know I shift energy when I walk into a room. It's just, and whether it's, it's triggering for some people, I have realized that, and I've had to make peace with it. I'm also 6 foot and built like really large. I didn't come onto this planet. I chose this body, I chose the height, I chose the voice, I chose it for a reason. And making peace with that and then working with it is my job. It is my soul alignment.
You're living what you're meant to be living. And thank you for sharing this with us. It's been quite amazing. So michelecourage.com. And if you want to join our Facebook group, I'll just put the link down here in the chat. It's called.
If you're driving past and you're driving up through New Zealand towards Napier, pop in. Just send me a text and pop in and come and say hi. Have a cuppa in my studio.
Mm.
That's what I'm contracted to do. That is what I'm here for.
And you're doing it so well, Michele. Thank you so much. It has been a great pleasure. I will put this recording up onto YouTube if anybody wants to watch it again, and feel free to share it with other people as well. A lot of people I know couldn't make it this evening, or they're just waiting for the video to go up. So yeah, certainly share it with other people, and I know I'll be watching it again because I just really love the energy of it all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kim and
Thank you.
Michele.
Thank you.
I'm off to feed my dragon.